Well, those were all my thoughts about my feeding tube I had early this morning.
How I feel about the feeding tube.
On our adventure.
Oh, you got freezing cold here.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. I'm up pretty early and currently mixing myself a banana bag. Ta-da! It is all mixed up. Some of y'all mentioned in my last banana bag vlog that I need to clean the Mediport here before inserting the syringe. I know that needed to be done, but I've never inserted medication into my infusion bag, so I just didn't even think about it. So thank you for kindly mentioning that. I did it this time, and yes, you're totally right, that needs to be done. So thanks again for kindly mentioning that. All right, I am all hooked up, but I just realized something. My infusion bag and pump already take up a majority of the room in here. So how am I gonna do my continuous fluids and my feeding tube at the same time? Because you get another pump and another bag of formula for your feeding tube. And since it's going into my jejunum, it's a smaller part of your digestive tract than your stomach. The feeds have to be very slow and given over a long period of time, like 18 to 24 hours out of the day. I'll be using my NJ. So how am I gonna do both at the same time? I mean, there's still room in here, so hopefully it'll fit, but I just don't know. The other thing is, what nostril are they going to use? Because my port is on my right side, so the tubing for my infusions runs through the right strap of the backpack. It just makes sense. But if they put the NJ in my left nostril, I'll have to run the tubing through the left strap, and taking this backpack on and off will be a pain because I'll be forever tangled and tubing on both sides. But if they put it in the right nostril, I can run the tubing through, both of the tubings through the right strap, and it'll be so much easier. But I don't know if I get to choose. I got to choose exactly where my port went because the surgeon worked with me and he was awesome, but I don't know how it works for an NJ. And the other thing is, I may not have to do continuous infusions anymore once I get situated and start feeling better with the tube feedings. But I still have to do them 3 times a week, 8 hours at a time for my POTS. And that's long periods of time that I'll have to be doing both tube feedings and my infusions. So I gotta find a way to make them both work. I'm gonna request if they can put it in this nostril and see. I mean, it's all going to the same place, right? Another thing I'm thinking about is, I don't like that word, feeding tube formula, because that reminds me of like baby formula, and I'm not a baby. And then some people call it fuel, but that reminds me of a car, and I'm not a car, so I don't really know what to call the substance that goes into my feeding tube. Substance, I guess? What do y'all think we should call it? We can see what your ideas are. What should we call the formula that goes through my tube? We need a better name. Substance isn't a bad word. Maybe I'll stick with that one. What are your ideas? Well, those were all my thoughts about my feeding tube I had early this morning. I got woken up due to nausea, but I didn't puke a lot this morning, which was awesome, so I'm thankful for that. Are you thankful for that? I'm feeling a little better today than yesterday. Yesterday was really hard. It does not mean I'm getting better. It just means that chronic illness can change from one day to the next, even from 1 hour to the next. And I think yesterday I was particularly run down because of the angioedema attack I had the night before. Last night was uneventful except for some nausea waking me up throughout the night, but again, no puking, so that's great. Judd and I have some errands to run today, so I'm gonna let him sleep a little more, then wake him up and we're gonna get going. But first I gotta feed you, right? Let's get you some breakfast. Okay. All right, Har's gonna enjoy breakfast and I'm gonna go wake up Judd. We are on our way to do errands. Judd's awake. He had a slow morning. And the first place we're going is Judd's gonna take Har to the dog park for a little bit so she can burn some energy.
Well, I'm here at the dog park and Harlow is somewhere back there doing dog things. Jack's in the car because she's feeling a little bit tired this morning, so saving her spoons for later. Oh, there's Harlow, way over there. And how I feel about the feeding tube. I feel like a feeding tube's a tool. Why wouldn't you use a tool to your best advantage? It's kind of like using a hammer to put a screw in place. It's not gonna work, but I mean, why wouldn't you use a screwdriver if you have options available for you to use, why not use the best one? But yeah, that's what I feel about it. I don't know why I'd feel any different about it. She's like, oh, do you feel like this? I was like, no, I feel like it's a tool you're gonna use to get better, hopefully. You, Harlow. Woo! You did it! Now you dropped it!
Harlow is a happy dog after going to the dog park. Now we're on the way to Walmart. Judd needs to pick up a few things. I gave him a list. I'm not feeling well enough to go inside Walmart and the other store we need to go to, so I'm choosing to conserve my energy so I can go into our second stop. So Judd's gonna go in by himself. You think you can handle Walmart by yourself?
I can handle Walmart by myself.
Alright. I have sent Judd into Walmart alone. He'll be fine. He can fend for himself. And I am starting to feel really not great. Like I said, chronic illness can change how it makes you feel day to day and even hour to hour. This morning, I was doing okay. I mean, I couldn't eat or anything and I wasn't feeling good, but I was okay. And now I'm really starting to crash, really feeling that effect of just no nutrition. I mean, this morning I realized I haven't had an actual meal in over a month. So it's definitely time to take the next step with this feeding tube. Just gotta hold out till Tuesday. We made it to Bravo. We're just here to pick up some things for Harlow's raw diet. I'm in the wheelchair because it's a wheelchair kind of day, and that's all right. It's just another tool to use for my chronic illnesses. Got some red meat for Harlow. What do you think, Har? Looks good, right? Chicken feet for some bones. Harlow, you love chicken feet, right? Look at you healing so well with the wheelchair. Judd is getting himself an empanada and some other Spanish food for lunch. How delicious. Judd got some scrumptious food. What'd you get?
I got some pork, some empanadas, some plantains, and some rice.
Awesome. All right, and he's gonna eat at home because we're on the way back now. I'm thoroughly exhausted from our errands. Judd's gonna enjoy his what is Spanish food? Hispanic food?
Puerto Rican food.
Oh, it's Puerto Rican. Cool. He loves Hispanic food. My mom is Venezuelan, but I don't cook any Hispanic food.
And her mom doesn't cook Hispanic food either.
My mom microwaves tilapia. It's gross. I will never eat tilapia again because of that. Small fact about Jaquie. Anyways, we're just gonna relax a bit until our live stream today. We're live streaming on YouTube, but the last one we did was so much fun, so we're excited for this one. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, Harlow, what are you doing? Harlow, you looking cute? Yeah, you are. All right. Yep. We will see you guys later. We did the live stream on YouTube. It was so much fun. If y'all joined us, thank you. I bought a webcam so the video quality would be better. Unfortunately, it didn't work. It like wouldn't connect to the webcam, so I'm hoping to figure that out.
She didn't want to set it up properly. She's like, oh, we just plug and play.
I thought we just plugged it in.
Loser.
Don't mock me, okay? I thought
what else am I gonna do? Assist you? That's not gonna happen.
Shut up. But anyways, thank you if you came. I have a playlist called Live Streams if you want to go watch it. It was just so fun connecting with y'all. We love doing that. And thank you, because with all your support, you know, that's why we do what we do. Y'all empower us to share our story, spread our message of awareness, and y'all rock.
Yes.
Well, I rested for quite a bit because the live stream, while it was so much fun, it did take quite a bit of energy out of me. Judd and I also tried to set up the webcam. We did so much troubleshooting, but we couldn't figure it out. So eventually we'll be taking my laptop and the webcam to the Microsoft store. So hopefully they'll be able to help us. And since we know when I'm going into the hospital, it's actually helping us a lot with planning because we can plan ahead for it. And one of the things we're doing is prepping raw meals for Harlow today, so we don't just stick Judd with the job. He doesn't have to worry about it while I'm in the hospital. So I'm not feeling well enough to prep all of her meals. I've done the kidneys and liver, and I've set up for Judd to do the other half of it. He's being awesome and helping me. So when he's done with his nap, he'll come over here and finish up with chicken breast. She got a roast that we just got at Bravo, some ground beef and chicken hearts. And as you can see, the kidneys and livers are all done. So she's gonna have about 2 weeks worth of food prepared. Judd is so kindly prepping the rest of Harlow's food.
Wait, I had a choice?
And during the live stream, I asked people what we should call my formula because, you know, I want some ideas, and we came up with two good ones I like: nutrition and sustenance. So I'm just gonna say which of those I like best, but I'd still love to hear y'all's ideas. Happy dog. She has a ton of prepped meals and bones to keep her occupied while I'm in the hospital, which is perfect. I was walking from the kitchen to the living room and I started to black out again and fell to the floor. So Judd carried me to the couch, and that's me done for the day. It's definitely time for the feeding tube. I think it's going to be a good tool to use. I mean, I'm not happy that I need it, but I'm glad that it's an option because we've tried everything else and nothing has helped me get the nutrition I need. Nothing else is working, so it'll be a good option. And hopefully it's just temporary and I only need the NJ, and after a few weeks I'm out of a flare and it can be taken out. But if I need a more permanent solution, we'll look into that in a few weeks. Something that Judd and I thought about recently is I don't know if I can get an NJ with my frequent angioedema attacks and my throat swelling shut. I'm gonna ask my doctor about that, of course. Also, with my frequent vomiting, it's possible that I could vomit up my tube, and especially with how violent my dry heaving and retching becomes. So I gotta talk to my doctor about that, because on Tuesday, I see him first thing in the morning before he direct admits me to the hospital, and I have a very long list of questions for him regarding my feeding tube and things like that. So if I can't get the NJ due to my health, like the angioedema attacks and my vomiting, then we'll probably get a different type of tube. But obviously I don't know what we're doing yet till I see my doctor. Right now the plan is to do the nasal jejunum tube, but whatever's happening, Tuesday I see my doctor, he's direct admitting me, and we're doing something to help me with my inability to eat. Judd is cooking because I don't feel well enough to do so. My hero, saving me from my blackouts from malnutrition. Thank you for that.
Yeah, wish I didn't have to.
I wish you didn't have to either. Don't worry, it'll be fixed soon.
It's a lot of mushrooms.
I thought you liked mushrooms.
I guess so.
He's cooking spaghetti for himself. I will not be eating any of this, unfortunately. As you can tell, Judd and I are not content with how my health is right now, but that's why we were, like, the original plan was to wait for my appointment on Friday and talk to my doctor, but Judd made me realize that was not going to work, and that's why I called him last week, told him things are going horribly, and that's why we are going Tuesday for the direct admit to the hospital. Right, Hippo? It's just a bad combination of my gastroparesis, my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, because that can cause digestive issues and malabsorption, and my median arcuate ligament syndrome. And from what others have said, I should expect to be in the hospital a few days. I'll find out more when I see my doctor Tuesday, but I'm gonna pack for up to a week just to be safe. How's it cooking? Good looking?
That's funny.
Right?
It is very cool.
But you are good looking and you are cooking.
I try.
You're doing a good job. I might have to taste it to see how it turns out.
See how it turns out?
Which might make me puke though, so maybe not. Just to clarify, I wouldn't puke from Judd's cooking.
She might. But...
No, your cooking's not that bad. I just like to cook. It's a passion of mine. That's why I always usually do the cooking. But I'm really not feeling well right now. When I said it might make me puke, it's because my GI issues are so bad. I struggled to keep down a piece of bread today, so that says a lot. Your food looks really great, babe.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this giant thing of Parmesan cheese because Judd drowns the stuff in Parm.
So I wouldn't have it. That's how the Italians would want it.
I had one bite of Judd's spaghetti and it tasted good, but my stomach and nausea. So glad we're gonna find a solution to this problem. And with that, we will say goodnight and thank you for joining us on our adventure.
You're interrupting dinner.
I'm not even eating. Hush.